Something interesting is happening in the comments section today, Rafa. After weeks of pure rage and conspiracy theories, Real Madrid fans have gone sentimental. And I don't know whether to be relieved or suspicious.
Madre mia, I saw it too and I had to double check I was on the right channel. But listen, when fans start talking about Carvajal with this kind of love, you pay attention, because this is not just appreciation. This is people saying goodbye to an era.
The Carvajal tributes have completely taken over, and the line that's getting the most traction, 31 upvotes, which is enormous for this comment section right now, is someone saying, and I'm translating directly, "My most sincere thanks to Carvajal for all the titles he's helped win. He's leaving with more Champions Leagues than league titles in Spain." And Tio, that sentence just stops you in your tracks.
Because it's true, and it says everything about what Carvajal is as a player. More Champions Leagues than La Liga titles. That's not just a stat, that's a personality. That's a player who shows up when it matters most, on the biggest stage, every single time. Que barbaridad.
And then someone else puts it even more bluntly. They say, Carvajal, more champions than Barca and Paletti combined. Which is just fans being fans, but also fans being completely right.
Look, we've spent weeks on this show talking about everything that's gone wrong. The Clásico, the dressing room drama, Mbappe's attitude, Florentino's press conference, and now, in the quiet after the season, fans are choosing to remember Carvajal. And that feels right. That feels earned.
What I find genuinely moving about the fan reaction is that nobody's using Carvajal to make a point about someone else. Usually in this fan base, every tribute becomes a weapon. Carvajal was loyal, unlike some people. But right now, it's just pure appreciation. Which, honestly, after the last 2 weeks, I wasn't sure this fan base was still capable of.
He deserves every word of it, Maria. And I think part of why it's hitting so hard right now is that the news about the dressing room losing its last Pata Negra Canterano, a real academy product who made it all the way, that's a genuine milestone. That chapter is closing. Fans feel it.
Venga, let's move to the topic that is absolutely not letting this fan base rest, Mourinho, because the Mourinho conversation has completely evolved since we first touched on it a few days ago, and I want to talk about where fans are now.
Where fans are now is fully committed to the fantasy, and I mean that. They are not asking, will Mourinho come anymore? They are asking, what will Mourinho do when he gets here? That's a completely different energy.
And the Tony Nadal quote is floating around the comments. Someone shared the interview where Nadal's uncle talks about Mourinho having an iron fist, making players understand they have to go to the limit every single game, and fans are absolutely running with it.
Because that's exactly what this squad has been missing. Fans have been screaming for months, since the Clásico, since the Arbeloa dressing room stories, that nobody is holding these players accountable. And now they're imagining Mourinho walking into Valdebebas and just flipping the table.
The interesting thing is how fans are projecting specifically onto certain players. The idea of Mourinho facing down the so-called untouchables in this squad, that's what's generating the most excitement. Fans want someone who doesn't treat any player as above criticism.
Vamos. And there's also this wild story circulating in England about Mourinho potentially bringing Rashford to Madrid, partly because he knows the player, partly because, and I love this framing, to cause destabilization and some problems at Barcelona. Maria, I cannot tell if this is journalism or fan fiction.
I genuinely cannot either. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter, because fans are treating it as completely plausible, and that tells you something about the mood. A few weeks ago, fans were debating whether Mbappe should be sold. Now they're debating which players Mourinho will recruit to psychologically torment Barcelona. The ambition has shifted.
And then there's the presidential election angle layered on top. Someone said on air that it's easier to win the Champions League than to defeat Florentino, which is a devastating line. And fans are sharing it everywhere because they genuinely don't know if the Mourinho project is even possible without a change at the top.
The Enrique Riquelme candidacy is being talked about more seriously now. There are reports he could make a formal announcement this Friday. And fans are split. Some think a new president is the only way to get a genuinely fresh start. Others think changing the president mid-crisis is just adding chaos to chaos.
Tio, this fan base is never boring. Okay, let's talk about something that I found genuinely funny in the comments today, because not everything is existential crisis. Some fans are absolutely losing it over the La Liga relegation battle.
Yes, someone says, and I'm translating this, I'm so happy about what happened with Mallorca, I just wish Valencia had gone down too. And then someone else says, someone call emergency services, I'm suffocating from all the smoke in my room. Which is a very dramatic way of saying they're enjoying the chaos.
The smoke in my room comment made me laugh for a long time. That's a fan who is watching the bottom of the table with the same intensity as a Champions League final. And honestly, that's Madridismo too. We care about everything.
There's also a very pointed comment about Maffeo. You know, the Mallorca fullback who's been a pest against Madrid for years. Someone saying, let's see if they pay as much attention to him in the second division. Fans have long memories, Tio. Very long memories.
And there's genuine satisfaction in the comments about Girona and Mallorca's situations, someone framing it as too good to be true in this Negrera league, which tells you that even when fans are happy about something, they can't fully relax. There's always a conspiracy angle available.
That's the permanent condition of this fan base, Rafa. Even joy comes with a footnote. Anyway, Athletic Club in 4 days. Fans are barely mentioning it yet, which tracks. This is a squad in end-of-season mode emotionally, and the fan base mirrors that.
The Athletic match will get its moment, and tomorrow morning we'll start hearing more about it. But right now, the fans are still processing the Carvajal farewell, still dreaming about Mourinho's iron fist, and still celebrating other clubs going down. That's the vibe. I'll take it.
We'll be back tomorrow morning with whatever the internet has cooked up overnight, and knowing this fan base, it'll be something. Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid, always. Cuídense everyone, and Carvajal, wherever you're reading this, gracias, tío. Genuinely, gracias.